No matter how long you spend working on a certain build, it will never be perfect. At least that's how I feel. To me, creative perfection isn't something that's exactly achievable. It implies that there is absolutely nothing that can be improved or changed. That's not really a realistic thing to aim for whenever you're on a creative endeavor like building something in Minecraft. You can spend days, weeks, even months on a building project and still not consider it to be perfect. Now that's an adjective that gets thrown around by a lot of people, myself included. I've defined some of my builds as perfect in my videos before, but I don't exactly mean it. I just like it a lot and I'm really proud, but if I'm being picky, there are plenty of things that I would change or add on to it to make it better, but I don't need to, so I don't. I used to think of myself as a bit of a perfectionist, and whilst that's still true to some degree, I have realised that by aiming for perfection every single time, it's only going to end in disappointment. I'm not going to be able to create the best build I've ever done each time I make something in Minecraft. That's not happening. Sure, I still aim to build things that I think look good and that I'm happy with, but I'm not going to drive myself crazy by striving for the perfect build. That perfectionist that's still within me a little bit wants to keep making changes and touch-ups to my builds until I think it can't be improved any further. Well, if I did that, that's all I would ever do. I wouldn't have time for anything else. And chances are, I just end up getting frustrated with it anyway, stress myself out, and stop building it altogether. Remember, Minecraft is supposed to be fun. Building is a part of that fun, so nowadays I tend to just get to a point in a build where I call it complete and that's that. At the end of the day, no Minecraft build can ever really be finished. There's always more you can do. And of course, there's nothing stopping you from coming back in the future to add some more onto it, change some blocks around, or even start again from scratch. But in the moment, when you're piecing it together for the very first time, you have to be the one to decide when enough is enough for now. Sometimes that means just settling for something that you think is an okay build, a perfectly fine build. Not the best, not the worst, but it does the job and you enjoyed making it. I think sometimes it's a case of setting standards and expectations too high before starting a new build. Now, I have the added bonus of knowing all of you lovely people will be watching, which tends to push my standards that extra bit higher so I can meet your expectations that I've probably got all wrong anyway. It's a good and a bad thing that I'm still working on. But I think we can all agree that we want to make something that looks cool, something we can be proud of, whether you're showing it off to people or not. But if you have these really high standards for yourself with the expectations that you'll meet them every time, it's probably not going to end too well in most cases and you'll just feel bad about yourself. Instead, be realistic. Unless you have all the time and patience in the world, you probably won't build anything that rivals whatever it is inside your head or what someone else has done. It's not necessarily a bad thing to lower your standards. I'm not saying you shouldn't try to build nice things, I just don't think it's healthy to get caught up with trying to do your absolute best at the cost of your own happiness. It's okay to settle for something that isn't total perfection. And besides, what someone else defines as perfect is most likely different to what you think. It's really important to remember that building, as well as all things creative, are subjective. Someone else may not like what you've done, but as long as you do, that really is all that matters. There's a mindset that I think gets drilled into people a lot nowadays, and that is that you have to be perfect. Not just about building in Minecraft, believe it or not, but in all aspects of life. You have to perform perfectly, you have to look perfect, you have to do all that it takes to achieve perfection. And if that's a good motivator for you personally, please don't let me stop you. But for most, it's a lot of pressure, whether from others or self-inflicted. You shouldn't have to try to be someone or create something that has no flaws. Almost everything in this world does. So don't let that strive for perfection negatively change who you are or how you feel, especially if it's over something as insignificant as a Minecraft build. It's just not worth it.